Hey guys, welcome to your instructional video for the unit plan part 1. So for the unit plan part 1, you are actually answering 4 questions. Your unit plan is a mini missile that you actually do uh, in your Midwestern impact on student learning that you actually do in your clinical teaching. So this is preparing you for unit planning in your block B and preparing you to actually do that capstone project in your clinical teaching. So for part 1, you are doing is you are talking about your students. So in this, you are talking about the students in your classroom. When I say in your classroom means the classroom that you did your field in. You talk about their reading levels, any special needs they have, learning styles, similarities and differences that you get, academic. Um, in this students, you really don't talk about the demographics. The demographics actually comes in the other environmental factors. Okay, this is all about your students. If the students are being pulled out, if there is an additional aid that comes in, how is the students learning, all of those part is what goes in the students. It is all about the students. The second part is all about the environmental factors. That means school as such. So you're talking about the school, you're talking about the demographics of the school, you're talking about the community around the school. So what is happening? Like, do they have any programs that involves the community and the parents? We have CIS. Do they have any of those tutoring programs, after school programs, things like that? Goes in the environmental factors. If you need information on the demographics and the number of students in the school and all of those things, then you can use the link of the Texas report card that is on the D2L. Here you will also talk about the classroom as general. That means you can talk about the technology, the classroom arrangement, all of those things that deal with the classroom, school, and the community comes in the environmental factors. Let's look at the rubric. So this is your unit plan rubric and I have taken sections from it. Your description of the significant environmental factors are complete and detailed and clearly addresses the special challenges to instruction posed by students' background and teaching environment. So both of these questions together inform this students and instructional significant environmental factors. So it talks about it is complete, it is detailed, you have thought about things. I will provide you guys feedback, but here is where you really need to think about your own classroom and the school that you are there and write these two. Once you write these two is when you answer the third part of it is how are these things influencing your planning? Okay, for example, I'll give you. So suppose your classroom arrangement, the seats are very close or you have lots of ample desks and chairs and centers. So my planning involved a lot of group work because of the classroom arrangement or the way the furniture and all the tables and chairs are placed. So you have to talk. Suppose your students have a very low reading levels. So my instructional decision would be because the students have such low reading levels, questions were read out to them or I provided reading aids and things like that. So this is where you explain how does it help you in your planning. So whatever you do here, you have to follow it up in your lessons that you create. So don't put, like, technology is something you can write about. If there are pullouts or if there is any special needs and things like that, that is all needs to be followed up in your lesson plans. So whatever you decide here will be seen over there. So in this case, your instruction has to be complete, detailed, clearly addresses any special challenges to instruction posed by the students' needs and backgrounds. It is aligned with individual development and diversity consideration. So you think about it in depth, and this is a very thoughtful question because you are saying how are you modifying your instruction based on these things. and this is something that I've written. So how does it influence your planning and assessment decisions? How I'm going to assess them, or what I'm doing differently based on what I have written about the students and the environmental factors. And then the last question that you're going to answer for your part 1 is, how did you collaborate with your mentor teacher while preparing for this unit? So in this collaboration, give specific examples. She provided you with resources. She provided you with specific strategies to deal with students on the lessons. She provided you feedback, assessment, technology, differentiation. Was there any co-teaching? Website, apps. You have to be specific. You cannot just say my mentor teacher helped me a lot. There needs to be specific examples. You can even add, because it talks about, if you look at the rubric, it talks about that reflects with collaborating with other professionals to meet the students' learning needs and objectives. The collaboration description gives specific examples of collaborating and working with colleagues. So when you talk about colleagues and we talk about other professionals, you can definitely talk about me, you can talk about Dr. Hinchman, you can talk about other professionals that you have worked with, okay, in trying to meet the needs of your students. Remember this question, you have to provide specific examples, okay? All right, if you have any more questions or any doubts, please don't hesitate to ask me. I am always here to support you be successful. I look forward to reading your part 1 and providing feedback.